Okay, hello and welcome. Sorry if this is a bit quick, but previous video was obviously about the Total War Attila DLC pre-order, which is the Viking Forefathers DLC. It's not speculation, it's actually been officially released. It's probably about 30 minutes after the information I found from a different forum. Now, CA have actually officially released it. The game will be coming out, Total War Attila, February 17th, 2015, so it's not really that long, to be perfectly honest. Gives you a few months to finish off the Black Sea Colonies campaigns and then start off with some Attila ones in February. And obviously with the Christmas releases of other games like Dragon Age Inquisition, Far Cry 4, blah blah blah, you've got enough time to finish them kind of games off. You get extra things with it, and we're going to quickly just watch a video of it, of the trailer, and then I'll explain things afterwards.
Sega.
Like I mentioned in the previous video, this is very similar to the Greek states, so if you pre-order, you obviously get this DLC for free. If you don't, you have to pay for it.
I am coming for you.
Which is slightly annoying that they're doing the same tricks again, but hey ho, they're a company, they've got to make some money, so... But the things I thought was really cool about the trailer was that there was one guy doing hand-to-hand combat, the other one was obviously doing cool animations with the axe to attack and stuff like that. So this is what comes up on the store, and then I will go over the factions itself, the stuff that they've just updated onto the Total War wiki. We've got the Geats, the Danes and the Jutes, which I'll talk about in a second. And here guys, against the darkening background of famine, disease and war, a new power is rising in the great steppes of the east. With 1,000,000 horsemen at his back, the ultimate warrior king approaches, and his sights are set on Rome. The next installment with a multi-award winning PC series that combines turn-based strategy with real-time tactics. Total War Attila cast players back to 395 AD, a time of apocalyptic turmoil and the very dawn of the Dark Ages. How far will you go to survive? Will you sweep the oppression from the world and cave out barbarian eastern kingdom of your own, or will you brace against the coming storm as the last remnants of the Roman Empire? In the ultimate survival strategy challenge, the scourge of God is coming, you will burn. So obviously the features they're just trying to put out is apocalyptic destruction mechanics, so you can set things on fire, or even the map when you do scorched earth policy. Legendary start position, playing as the Western Roman Empire, you'll begin with the vast territories under your control, but weakened by political infighting and threatened on all sides by enemies. Your dominance will quickly become a struggle to survive. Incredible period detail, outstanding visual fidelity, overall game mechanics. Enough of that rubbish. We all know that anyways. And we're going to go over the factions. I need to do a video for the Western Roman Empire first, but we'll do these as it's been released today. We've got the Danes. Let's read the information about them. So you obviously start within Denmark, hence the Danes. Derp. The Danes, or Danai, have achieved the rarest of marriages between barbarian vigour coupled with civilized sophistication. As the most southerly of the Norse kingdoms, they come into contact with the southern European peoples early on, treating them with uncharacteristic openness. After this, many left their lands to seek their fortunes elsewhere, returning with more than just gold. One recognised the potential of the Roman alphabet, adopting it to suit his native tongue, and writing materials available in the north. This led to the creation of the first runic alphabet, which rapidly spread across northern Europe, greatly enhancing Nordic people's culture and trade, resulting in the creation of objects combining both exotic resources and traditional Nordic styles. However, neither wealth nor cultures dampened the Danes' side for conquest. Many northern tribes plunder foreign shores, yet neglect their own. Not so the Danube. Poised to take advantage of the ensuing upheaval, they strive to forge a grand Nordic empire to outlast that of Rome. Born to raiding, like the other Norse tribes, the Danes know full well how to draw profit from destruction. Born to the sea, they can navigate the roughest waters safely, and seasickness is viewed as a weakness of lesser men. So obviously they're going to be very, very naval-heavy factions, these ones, as the Viking Forefathers culture pack. Basically, you are playing as Vikings. Obviously, the Viking period didn't kick into full effect until about 100 years later, 200 years later on. But obviously, this is the beginning of it. And let's quickly read about Danes, and we'll go. It's not a lot of information with these, but Northern Germanic tribes, obviously, it's Denmark modern day now, but it would be Germania at the time. So in the less comprises modern day Denmark. They're mentioned in the 6th century, which is obviously 300 years after this. They speak the Old Norse language, which is called something, and they have Icelandic, Norwegian as Swedish peoples. That's not really a lot. During the Viking Age, the Danes are based on the Jutland Peninsula, the island of Zealand, which actually, that's it, I was going to say, I remember this guy. There you got King Canute, he had a massive settlement there. I think they had the fortified walls and stuff like that at that point. And it was more of like, he was the first one to have, let's actually read that. So he was the first one to have like a moat around the settlement before anyone could attack him. Compared to like previous barbarian settlements, they'd never used to have walls and stuff like that. Well, not as complex walls as this, and the moats as well. London in Wessex. Okay, so he obviously tried to conquer England as well, King Canute. Advanced to the north, siege of London. So, oh, so okay, so he does attack London as well. Enough of that. That's the Danes. And then you've got the Geats, which is supposed to be the Goths, I think they are. So obviously this is going to be in... Is it Sweden or Norway? Norway, Sweden. I think it's Sweden. I'm not very good with my Scandinavian countries, exactly which ones are which. Legendary ancestors of Beowulf, the Getae manifest with all the intrepid boldness of the famous hero. From the stronghold on the southern tip of Sweden, Swedish peninsula, they have naval access to the whole of northern Europe, allowing them to launch frequent raids within fear of retribution. The most glorious of these exploits are told in the Getae's rich oral tradition, immortalizing their leaders and inspiring a new generation to seek glory. With the arrival of the Huns in Europe has meant disaster for most, but for the Getae it's just another opportunity. Recently their king, Gazar, led a force into Central Europe to fight alongside the Goths in exchange for Roman gold and goods. There are rich pickings to be gained, fighting to the highest bidder in the south. Crisis is blooming in these fertile lands, and the Getae are determined to be at its heart, profiting from it. Born to raiding like the other Norse tribes, the Gets know full well how to draw profit. Yeah, it's the same thing as before. But this one, it says they are also hardy people, virtually immune to the cold and relish the thought of fighting in the snow. So that's another cool one. So obviously you got the Viking landings. I think this is cool as well because Mount Blade Warband are doing a thing in December for the Vikings as a DLC. So very Viking-esque at the moment. I think it's probably because of the TV program that the things that are going on. It gets obviously this is going to be a quick one again. Sweden, it's situated in this area. Modern day Sweden. The name of the Gets also lives on the Swedish provinces of these two. The western and eastern lands of the Gets are many other blah blah blah. Middle Ages, Vikings. It's not really a lot. It's probably more after when the game is set, so the actual Viking Age and stuff like that. So this is early days Vikings. So let's go on to the last faction. I don't want to waffle too much. Probably like some of it's a bit nonsense, so let's quickly get to the point. And this is the Jutes, which is actually in Denmark itself. So the Danes are set in this island here. The Goth people sit there, and you've got the Jutes, which obviously in modern day Denmark now. The ocean laps the coast of Jutland. summoning the inhabitants to new ventures and conquests. As such, the duty have always been the most intrepid of the Norse-speaking peoples, looking to distant shores of clashing over the sparse northern lands. Accordingly, they are the perfect position to profit from the slow collapse of Roman Britannia and relentlessly plunder its coast as the defenders dwindle in number. The duty leadership use the spoils of their raids to make exquisite prestige goods. Should the duty succeed in conquering Britannia, many more will no doubt be forged. A successful conquest will be a great undertaking, and one requiring them to draw on the very depths of their fortitude, to drive out the remaining Romans, subduing belligerent locals, and forward the ambitions of their Saxon neighbours, who also convert the green and pleasant land. The duty have vowed no less. I was going to say, if they do go into Britannia, they've got to deal with the Saxons as well, which would be quite on par with these guys, so that'd be interesting to play as one of the Viking factions. But also raiding like the other Norse tribes, the Jutes know full well how to draw profit from destruction. When fighting and destroying settlements, their fearsome warriors leave no stone unturned and inevitably return richer men for their conquering. I think when the game starts itself in February, I'll definitely be playing as one of these three factions. Obviously, I need to figure out who. There's going to be multiple factions to play, but how I'm thinking of doing it is Barbarian faction, which would be like the Goths, stuff like that, one of the Romans, so even Western or Eastern, and one of the Vikings. I could potentially start 4 campaigns at once, but it'd be very overwhelming, but maybe. We'll see at the time. Okay, Germanic people according to the Bedi. The Jutes are one of the 3 most powerful Germanic peoples of the time. The other 2 being the Saxons, which obviously in England at the time, and Angles, which you get Anglo-Saxons later on in the Britain history. Jutes are believed to have originated from the Jutland Peninsula, which is here, and part of the North Frisian coast. In present times, the Jutland Peninsula comprises the state of Denmark and the southern Jutland in Germany. Politically speaking, North Frisian is part of Germany as well. The Jutes invaded and settled in southern Britain in the late 4th century as part of the larger wave of Germanic settlement in the British Isles. And I think that'll be it for that. I'll be doing a different video for the Western Roman Empire because I haven't done that yet. But as you can see, the units are very cool, the factions are cool, and we've got a bloody announcement date. We're going to be playing as Vikings. I cannot wait. This is what I've been waiting for. I've been waiting for Vikings for a very long time for Total War, and now it's come. Hope you enjoyed that. Sorry if it's a bit waffly in certain parts, but we just got this information, so I thought I'd quickly do the video so I haven't had time to prepare for it, and hope you enjoyed the information. Catch you all later.